First, a hard winter's training. Today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. This month is all about fortitude and resilience. I love this month. I love the lessons. We're going to jump right into this one because this is one of my commandments, my 10 commandments of a gentleman, dominant, masculine male. The quote today by Epictetus. First, as I was, we must undergo a hard winter training and not rush into things for which we haven't prepared. So Ryan Holiday uses warfare from the Daily Stoic as an example. And I'm going to kind of touch on that and go a little deeper. Remember the name von Steuben. So before the advent of modern warfare, armies typically would fight during the fighting season, and then they would break during the winter season. This was very common throughout history. And even sometimes they'd break and get the harvest in, but that's side, a little different. War was not total war as we understand it today, okay? It was more like a series of raids with like one rare, decisive, epic battle, right? When Epictetus says that we ought to go through a hard winter training, I'm not even going to butcher the Greek word for this. He was disputing the notion that there is such thing as part-time soldiering. You are either a warrior or you are a gardener, right? And as the saying goes, it is much better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. He was disputing the notion that we can part-time do these things, right? So in order to achieve victory, one must decide every second and every resource into preparation training. He uses LeBron. I'm not using LeBron. LeBron's fucking soft. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, after a championship game, when they won the championship, everyone's partying and celebrating, we're going out. Do you know where Kobe Bryant went? He went to the gym because one of the shots that he missed couldn't get out of his head. So he shot that shot 1,000 times. We won the championship. There's no more games till next year. We got an off season. Fuck no. Kobe Bryant went to the gym after they won the championship and shot that same shot 1,000 times. The U.S. military trains its soldiers, go to war day and night. It's funny. We were in Afghanistan. I remember it was was it Veterans Day? Memorial Day. It's one of the days everyone in the U.S. has off, and we're in country, checking our vehicles, getting ready to roll out the wire, going on a patrol, and everyone else is off. I just think that is so funny, right? But the U.S. military doesn't take those days off, right? They fight until it's over or until the politicians give in. But the same is true for us, isn't it? We can't go through life half-heartedly, say, I want to be an awesome person. Part of the time. So, von Steuben, right? And we're talking about being prepared. The British Empire was, after the 7 Years' War, came out the dominant global superpower ahead of France. George Washington kicked off that little thing in the French and Indian War, ended up into the 7 Years' War. It was actually the first Great War. There was actually conflict on 5 continents by superpowers all over the world. So that's actually technically the first real world war, according to Chamberlain. We got upset because they were trying to tax, stamp, and all this other stuff, right? So we said, fuck no. We said, fuck no. No. We fought back. And what happened in the very, very beginning of the Revolutionary War, we had some, wins, losses, the Battle of Saratoga kind of turned the tide. The real change in the entire Revolutionary War did not happen during the fighting. did not happen during, all these amazing stories you hear. It happened at Valley Forge. Here's why. Washington knew that his ragtag army could not, in the long term, stand up against the largest and strongest standing navy and army in the world. So he brought in somebody to train his army during the winter. Von Steuben came in and actually turned a ragtag group of patriots and farmers into the Continental Army. Many of the doctrines that he produced laid the background for what is now still in use today in the U.S. Army. We were not prepared to fight the British. Yeah, we had enough of their shit. Yep, awesome. But we were not prepared. So first, a hard winter's training. Winter of 77, 78? Yes, winter of 77, 78. The ragtag militia became the Continental Army. Hard winter's training. It's the same for everything in our life. I reflect on Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Chapter 5, I believe it is, Sharpening the Saw. The 4 quadrants. Quadrant 2, planning and preparing. You go back to Ben Franklin, you look at Abraham Lincoln, they all talk about the significance of preparation. And so you transform that, and you hear me talk about my separation season. Now my birthday's over, right? We're kind of leading into football season, October starting. Soon as I start seeing that Halloween candy, I know it is full tilt separation season. It is hard winter training. That's when I diet the hardest. That's when I cut my spending the most. That's when I push my body harder than I've ever pushed. That's when I reaffirm my business plans for the next year. Make sure that I already hit this year, but make sure that we're hitting our goals for this year, but also making sure that we're raising the bar for next year. Separation season is my hard winter training, and this will be my 4th year. Ed Millett, thank you for introducing me to the separation season. And I'm just going to put a plug here. I can't remember the name of the book, but I know Kate, one of my girls, will put it over there. Ed Millett has an amazing book. I can't remember the name of it right now. So many. But he's the guy that I learned the separation season from. So again, remember, I talk about patterns. I look for patterns in success. You take these amazing, successful people. Again, go back to the OG, Ben Franklin, Lincoln. You talk about all these people, modern, the Stephen Coveys of the world, all of them. Patterns. When I look for success, I see the patterns that were required to get there. So we're entering separation season. This is hard winter training. I prepared my people. I said, listen, it sucks. I know it's going to be hard, not going to be fun, but that's what discipline looks like. That's what self-love looks like. And that's what we are going to do, me and my people. And it is all about a hard winter training, because quite honestly, I am not prepared for the next level that I am going after. I need to get prepared. So I'm going to call in Von Steuben and I'm going to get to work. And on that, we're going to have an amazing day.